However, instead of going after one and getting 500 in a day, why don't we take all those people and let's go get those 6,000 men that are raping, murdering, and pillaging New York City? And Donald Trump is pissed. How do I know Donald Trump is pissed? Am I in those meetings? No, I'm not. But within 30 days, he fired the acting ICE director. Fired him because he said the numbers are too low. You're fired. So I know there's angst going on. I know Tom Homan, from what I heard, that he's upset, that he's frustrated. And you can see it in his face when he's giving interviews. He's losing weight like crazy.
Yeah.
He looks frustrated, angry, because he doesn't have the resources. And his name is tied to this. And right now, I would say this is failure.
How do you feel about those politicians, like in New York and some other states, calling, sanctuary cities, basically getting in the way of Holman and President Trump agenda of like, oh, we must protect all illegal immigrants at all costs, and basically hinder the agenda of basically getting them out?
They have to be arrested because they're committing a felony called 8 U.S.C. 1324. We used to apply that charge to alien smuggling, but it's called a furtherance. So you're harboring, you're assisting, you're hiding. Let's take Pritzker, for example, of Illinois. He's already in the illegal alien debacle by probably $4 to $5 billion. Minimum. He's all in on helping illegal aliens. He's so much so that he was having people go into the jails and change the identity of the prisoners and give them different IDs so ICE couldn't track them. AOC, her chief of staff, was an illegal alien from Colombia, and he's self-deported. She got him a Social Security card. He was being paid as a chief of staff. He had to be making well over six figures. She employed an illegal alien, knowingly employed an illegal alien, the chief of staff. He had to get clearances, top secret clearances, for everything that she saw. A foreign national illegally had access to top secret documents, knew what our government was voting on, when they were voting, why they were voting, and who was voting on it. We had an illegal alien, chief of staff. So why is she not arrested? She was caught telling her constituents how to circumvent ICE, giving them paperwork on how to circumvent ICE. ICE is a federal law enforcement apparatus department that has a duty to arrest and deport illegal alien criminals, and she's helping them hide from ICE. Why isn't she arrested? Now listen, you don't have to go arrest everybody. Let's say I arrested AOC, and then we arrested that gigantic fat-headed jackass Pritzker and put cuffs on them. Do you think that sets a message? You think other people that are kind of, maybe I should do that, you think they're going to do that when you throw them in jail and you throw a felony charge on them? You can't plead down. What are you going to plead down to, a misdemeanor? So you're going to do 18 months in federal prison, AOC? Or are you going to fight it? Oh, you want to fight it? Good, let's fight it. Mm-hmm. Now we got discovery. Now we got the AOC saga been proven. I wrote about it. I know how this happened. And it was the utilization of non-governmental organization, NGOs. Who funded the NGOs? Was it just George Soros and the Open Society? No. Who funded it was America. USAID, Agency for International Development, not USAID, USAID, funded international NGOs that were able to cobble together and bring 30 million people from across the globe to the border of America. 30 million people. When people used to say, well, they're caravan, they're walking down from, the Darien Gap, I go, no, they're not. They're flying into South America or Panama, crossing the dangerous Darien Gap, and then the NGOs are waiting for them there to medicate, feed them, clothe them, and get them proper, and then they're busing. No one's walk. You know how long it take you to walk? That's like me. We're in Houston right now, and I'm going to walk to Alberta, Canada. You know how long that's going to take us, man? That's going to take us 6 months to a year, if we're lucky. If we don't get snowed in or die out there.
Right.
Who's feeding them? Who's providing 30 million people meals, clothing, medicine, transportation? Well, we are. United States AID sent tens of billions of dollars down to the international NGOs, and the international NGOs hate America. They don't believe in sovereign nations. We paid the UN, who paid the IOM, who paid NGOs to bring all these people into America or bring them up to the border. Then our DHS, who has billions of dollars, washed the money clean through FEMA, and FEMA gave it to the NGOs, the Catholic Charities, the Jewish Family Services, HIAS, Lutheran Family Services, and all these domestic NGOs that have international ties, so their international brothers and sisters, brought them to the border. The domestic half of the other side of the NGOs brought them into the interior of America. They planned this out. Look, I went and wrote my first book, Invaded, and I went and did background and research. I flew to San Diego, and where I used to work, and because I knew the people that can get me in and talk to people off the record, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm writing this book, and I remember thinking, this was a year after I left, and this is what I thought. This is a catastrophe. This is abomination. However, they, the Border Patrol, and they, the NGOs, don't have their act together. They're not processing efficiently enough, and they don't have the apparatus to move the people well enough. And that's when you began to see 10,000 Haitians, 20,000 Venezuelans living on the border of Texas under bridges. And it was a nightmare for PR for the Bidens. And then in 2023, when I went back to go back and do more research in 2024, in the middle of 2024, to begin filming, I was shocked because the whole apparatus was working like a well-oiled machine. The Border Patrol had gotten their marching orders to do the bare minimum of any kind of processing and get these people released as fast as you can. The NGOs were fully funded now and were getting billions of dollars. So they had their whole apparatus set up. So they were moving bodies as fast as they can get them.